Okay, so in this video we're going to add error bars to our graph, and we're also going to add an error line. Okay, so to add the error bars, what we basically want to do is tell the program to go plus or minus this value for our horizontal error bars and plus or minus this value for our vertical error bars. Okay, so let's start with the horizontal error bars. We'll click on the graph to get the graph options. Click on the down arrow. No, in fact, first we need to add a chart element, and we're going to add error bars. And choose more error bar options. And then we will click this down arrow, and we're starting here with the horizontal error bars. And to edit these, we click on the little numerical options. And instead of using fixed value or one of these, we're going to choose custom, and we're going to specify the value. And the positive error value is going to be these, and the negative error value is going to be these. So we're going plus or minus each of those, which is how uncertainties work. Okay, so we've now fixed the horizontal ones, but the vertical ones are still totally out of whack. So if we go down to Y error bars here, I again choose custom and specify value. And the positive value is this one, and the negative value is also this one. And then click OK, and now the error bars look more reasonable. In fact, I'm just going to zoom in so I can see kind of how those look. Our crosses are kind of covering these, so I'm just going to go to series options and just remove those completely. If I go to marker options, and I choose none, those blue crosses will disappear, and I'll see my error bars a bit more clearly. Okay, now I'll zoom out a bit. Now we want to add an error line as well. So we have all of our points now plotted with error bars. The error line is going to be a line that has a gradient that is as different from our blue line here as possible, but which still goes through most of our error bars. And if you look here, if I go through the bottom right corner of this kind of square produced by these error bars, and the top left corner of this square produced by these error bars, I'll get a steeper line, and it'll still go through all of my error bars. So that's a good kind of rule of thumb to use. So error line, I'm going to call this. So I just want to pick those 2 points. So this lowest part here is going to be the horizontal value plus the uncertainty. So it's going to be equals this plus this. And for this point, my x value is going to be the last value here, and I'm going to go backwards. So it's going to be minus. So it's going to be equals this minus this. Okay, those are my x values. We don't need to format this bit very neatly because this table isn't going to appear in any in our report. So error line y values are going to be, well, we want to go through this bottom right corner. So the first one is going to be our lowest y value minus the uncertainty. And then we want to go through the top of this one. So that's going to be our y value, our highest y value plus the uncertainty. So that's equal to this plus this. Okay, and now we want to add this as a second line to our data. So if I click on the graph, and then I go to design here, and I can choose select data. And we want to add a new series here by clicking add. And the series name can just be error line. The series x values are these. The series y values are these. And then we can click OK, and that's now going to be our error line. Okay. And what it's done is it's created a new set of points, has it? And now we can add a chart, we can add a trend line, and we can add a linear trend line, and we can add it to error line. So now you can see we have a new error line here that goes between those 2 points that we defined. So let me just zoom in and show you. So you can see here that this error line still goes through all of our error bars. It goes through the bottom right hand corner of this one because that was the first point that we defined. And it goes through the top left of this one because that was the second point that we defined. It goes through all of our error bars and is as different in gradient to our line of best fit as we could possibly make it. Okay, zoom back out. Okay, so now what we want is to forecast that one back as well so we can really see the line and its y-intercept. So we'll click on here, forecast backwards to, and we want to go back by 0.323, like so. And we also want to show this equation on the chart, and it's appeared here. And just to show which one it is, we can color code this with a some sort of orangey fill. What is that color? Something like that. And then we need to change these variables once again because we didn't plot y against x, we plotted t against square root of mass. And now we have our two equations, our error line, we have everything correctly labeled, we've changed the variables, we have a good title. This is a graph that we're going to put into our report. Okay, we don't need to say error lines here. Transformed graph is enough. So there's our transformed graph, and that's the one that we're going to use to derive our equation, or to get our equation for this relationship, including the uncertainty. Okay, we'll do that in the next video.